Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin has finally just confirmed the breakout from this massive bullish pattern on the daily time frame, as the Bitcoin price is also just about to confirm this massive breakout on the larger time frames, while the price has also just now hit my exact bullish price target in the short term, while Bitcoin whales are now buying massive amounts of Bitcoin right now, while Ethereum is still repeating history here in the short term in the bullish direction, while Solana is getting extremely close to breaking out from this massive bullish pattern. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before we take a look at the Bitcoin charts today, we need to once again look at the Bitcoin news today, because on Tuesday we saw another massive net inflow into the spot Bitcoin ETFs, this time around with BlackRock specifically buying around $288 million worth of Bitcoin just on Tuesday, just by BlackRock. And so overall, this resulted in a net inflow across all of the spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US, a net inflow of $371 million US just on Tuesday. And so when you combine this net inflow that we saw on Tuesday with the net inflow that we saw on Monday of over $500 million overall, just this week so far, on Monday and Tuesday, we have a net inflow of over $926 million US, so almost $1 billion buying up Bitcoin in just 2 trading days for the spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US. And so the Bitcoin whales out there, the people that have a lot of money to play with, are buying massive amounts of Bitcoin right now. All of the smart money out there are accumulating Bitcoin like never before. And this is happening as Bitcoin is breaking out on larger timeframes. Here on the 2-day time frame, we are now officially breaking out above this massive descending line of resistance that has been holding down the price of Bitcoin for over half a year now, since around March this year. And in just a couple of hours from now, this 2-day candle close will confirm. And so for as long as the price of Bitcoin can simply remain above around 66,000 just over the next few hours, then this will confirm this breakout, at least on the 2-day Bitcoin chart. But like I've also said recently here on the channel, ideally to be more confident that we're really flipping much more bullish again, we need to break out above around 68,000 to be more confident that we're really starting to head into more of a bull run and not just a short-term pump. But obviously, either way, despite the fact that we've not yet confirmed a breakout above 68,000, technically speaking, with this candle close, once this actually confirms above 66,000 in just a couple of hours from now, this is really the first major sign that we've seen in a long time, for many months now on the channel, on these larger time frames here, that the prices are really heading in the bullish direction, not just in the short term, but for a longer term trend, talking about more of a bull run that could last for months. And now, obviously, when seeing breakouts like this, it's also important to keep expectations realistic. So even during a bull run, of course, we can see the occasional short-term pullback along the way, just like how during a larger bearish trend that we've seen over the last half a year or so, we can see the occasional short-term bullish trend or short-term pump during a larger bearish trend. So just keep that in mind. Right now, we're potentially about to see the opposite, a larger bullish trend, but we can see the occasional pullback from time to time along the way up. And so just keep that in mind. Obviously, the price does not move in a straight line. We're not going to see 100% only bullish price action. We're going to see some red candles here and there. That is to be expected. But overall, in terms of the larger trend and momentum, things are finally starting to look much more bullish again, especially if we can see this confirmed breakout, and ideally if we can break out above around 68,000. And with that being said, the super trend indicator on these larger timeframes, like the 3-day chart, the 4-day chart, this will flip back into the green once we see a confirmed breakout on the 3-day chart above around 68,000, give or take. And on this 4-day time frame, once we break out above around 71,000, this will actually flip back into the green on the super trend indicator right here on the price of Bitcoin. And with that being said, taking a look at the daily Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is currently running into this major area of resistance based on previous resistance in the price of Bitcoin, and based on the volume profile indicator, the VPVR indicator, showing massive amounts of traded volume in this area in between 67 to 68,000. So just keep that in mind. We could still find some resistance in this region, but if we can actually see a confirmed breakout with, for example, a daily candle close above 68,000, that would be an extremely bullish signal. because when we're talking about resistance above 68,000, really the next major resistance is pretty much that all-time high level. We could have a small amount of resistance at around 69,500, give or take, but that's relatively small resistance, not as significant as around 68,000. And once again, we do have a bit of resistance at around 72,000 and close to 74,000 based on these all-time high levels. But with that being said, if we break out above 68,000, there's a very high chance that in the coming weeks, we'll likely see the price of Bitcoin retest all-time highs. And so once again, in order to expect all-time highs for the price of Bitcoin, all we need to see now is that confirmed breakout with candle closes above 68,000. And as for support, in case we see another rejection from this resistance, we could find a small amount of support at around 66,000. But below that, we have this major area of support in between around 64.1k to 64,500. And in terms of the short-term momentum in the market right now, clearly things are looking bullish when it comes to the momentum here in the short term, as I've been saying for around a week now on the channel, especially due to this bullish divergence still actively playing out on the 8-hour time frame, which I've been talking about every day since all the way back down here. And so essentially the price of Bitcoin is basically repeating history, playing out this massive bullish divergence on the 8-hour time frame. And technically speaking, despite the fact that the RSI is currently overbought on the 8-hour time frame, we've not yet confirmed an invalidation signal to invalidate this bullish divergence by seeing, for example, a breakdown in the RSI forming lower lows, for example, or a breakdown in the price action. But with that being said, it is still worth noting that the RSI on the 8-hour time frame is currently overbought. So despite the fact that many other signals are looking bullish, just based on this signal alone, technically speaking, this is telling us that maybe at some point over the next day or so, 1 to 2 days from now, we could start to see a bit of a short-term cool-off, just a slight little slowdown here from all of this bullish price action, just in order to reset the RSI, which can give us some more room to the upside later on. And so, as I said earlier, on these larger time frames, don't be surprised if we see an occasional little pullback or sideways consolidation from time to time along the way up. But overall, the larger momentum right now is currently looking much more bullish, especially now that we've just confirmed the breakout for this bullish cup and handle pattern on the daily Bitcoin chart, where they confirmed daily candle close above the neckline, above the point of the breakout, which was sitting at around 66.3k, give or take. And that latest daily candle close that we saw just yesterday was confirmed at around 67,000, confirming this breakout. And we're also just about to see a second daily candle close potentially above this resistance. And so this will further confirm the breakout to the upside, which means we now technically have an active bullish price target in play for this pattern, sitting at close to $80,000 per Bitcoin. And so from the current Bitcoin price to that price target, we're talking about around an 18% move to the upside with no leverage, or for example, with a 10x leverage long position, that'll be a 180% profit. And personally, I'm already longing the price of Bitcoin, as I've been sharing every day here on the channel very transparently since basically all the way back down here. I've been saying this is the time to long the price of Bitcoin right down here before all of this bullish price action. But as I said in my last video, if we especially see a breakout above around 68,000 confirmed with candle closes above 68,000, personally, I'd look to basically add to that Bitcoin long position, because that would be another massive bullish signal. So right now, I'm still longing the price of Bitcoin with that current position that I've held over the last half a week, give or take. But once again, potentially soon, if we see that extra confirmation above 68,000, I'd look to potentially add to that Bitcoin long position just in my trading strategy. As always, not personal financial advice for you, because I don't know your financial situation. I'm just simply sharing my trading strategy very transparently here on the channel as I'm doing it. And speaking of Bitcoin trades, looking at the 6-hour Bitcoin charts, we have now officially completed this breakout trade for the price of Bitcoin. Obviously, since all the way back down here on the channel, I've been talking about this double bottom pattern, also known as a W pattern. And I said right down here, when the price was at around 63,000, I said if we break out above 63.8k, that will be the point to place a long position once we confirm a breakout right here, because that will set up a bullish price target, first of all, at around 67.2k, give or take, and a higher price target, the full technical price target, at around 68.3k. And just recently, over the last one day, we have now hit that exact bullish price target, the higher price target. So if you took that trade, if you entered the trade anywhere near this breakout, even if you waited for an extra confirmation signal here to basically enter a long position, and then you traded that move to any of these price targets and took profits around these price targets, you would have made a lot of easy, quick money in the price of Bitcoin here. And once again, I shared that entire trade setup and trading strategy very transparently, step by step along the way since before we saw the breakout. And I've just done the exact same thing for this potential trading opportunity right here on the daily time frame. And so this is why it is important to subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these important update videos where I'm sharing these trading strategies completely for free that can potentially help you make a lot of easy money in crypto. And if you want to take these trades for yourself, personally, I take most of my trades over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a 500 USDT position airdrop. So basically a free $500 trade as your first trade on Bybit. If you simply use that link down below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account, and then simply by claiming this airdrop. Once again, first link down below this video. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there's also Bitget, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, which you can trade on, but you don't need KYC for Bitget, which means if you're in the US or the UK, for example, or another country where you might not be able to access Bybit, you can access Bitget. So it's similar to Bybit, but you can access Bitget. And using that link down below this video to Bitget, you can get a 5.5k deposit bonus. And only if you use that link, you can get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitget exchange forever. But that's only if you use the link down below this video to make your Bitget account. And so as another option out there, other than Bybit to trade crypto once again, there's Bitget links down below if you want to claim those extra bonuses. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and as of right now, we are starting to build a little bit more liquidity to the upside again, sitting in between around 68.4k to 69,000 approximately. So keep that in mind. Even with the price pumping, there's still a lot of traders starting to place more short positions here, because as liquidity builds to the upside, that essentially means more liquidation levels are sitting to the upside. And if the price moves to the upside to liquidate positions, that means short positions are getting liquidated because it's going against the short positions. And so while people are still trying to short this Bitcoin pump, that's basically adding more fuel to the fire in this potential short squeeze that we're seeing right now, which started around half a week ago, which obviously I shared on the channel before it started. And with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, and right now we're still holding above 2.5k, which was previous resistance, and now acting as new support again at around 2.5k once again. And we also have this significant area of support down here, still sitting at around 2150 to 2.2k. But with that being said, we have significant resistance to watch out for, close to 2.8k. And with that being said, taking a look at the 12-hour time frame, we still have massive resistance in between around 2.7k to 2.8k based on previous price action. So just keep that in mind. We also saw a recent rejection very close to 2.7k, proving that that is still acting as major resistance or very close to that level. And as for support, we do have support right here based on previous support and resistance in between around 2550 to 2580, and below that we have more support in between around 2440 to 2475. And in terms of the price structure right now, we're still seeing very similar price structure right now to what we saw back in around the first half of September and moving into the middle of September, because we're essentially seeing a double bottom pattern, also known as a W pattern, play out with higher lows in the price chart and then breaking out above the center line right here, above the middle high in the W pattern. We're seeing that right now exactly like what we saw basically in the first half of September, as I was also saying, since much lower prices over the last 1 week or so. And so ultimately, things are still looking bullish in the short term for the price of ETH in terms of the momentum right now in the market. And ultimately, Ethereum will likely follow with what Bitcoin is doing. So if Bitcoin is breaking out and looking bullish, we'll likely see similar price action for Ethereum as well. We also just have to remember that there's still resistance where the price can still struggle at. And in terms of price targets for Ethereum, we don't really have any shorter term price targets for now because we're still sitting below this resistance. And also we have already hit the technical price target for this double bottom pattern as I've shared over the last few days. And with that being said, taking a look at Solana on the daily time frame, right now the trend and momentum in the short term for Solana is still bullish, but obviously we're still currently struggling around this key area of resistance as expected in between around 159 to 163, still acting as very strong resistance. So obviously, while the price is bullish, expect the price to still struggle at around resistance. But if we can actually see a confirmed breakout above around 163, as I've mentioned here on the channel, that will be extremely bullish for the price of Solana, likely sending the price much higher beyond around 175, because we do have a bit of resistance in between 170 to 175, but that's not as significant as this resistance in between 159 to 163. So ultimately, the next significant area of resistance is this area right here in between around 183 to 187. So we'll likely head there next as a likely scenario if we can see this confirmed breakout above around 163. And another reason why that'll be so bullish is because of this massive inverse head and shoulders pattern on the daily time frame. Because of course, if we break out above 163, that would also mean a breakout above this neckline, which is currently sitting at around 157 to 158. So ultimately, we just need a breakout above 163 to be more confident here that the price is heading towards this massive bullish price target, which would be sitting at around $200 approximately. But once again, before we can reach 200, we still have this resistance in between 183 to 187, which will also likely be a bit of a stopping point as we've seen previously in the price of Solana. But once again, I want to make it clear that right now, this potential bullish price target and this potential inverse head and shoulders pattern on the daily Solana chart are not currently active. They are not confirmed right now because we've not yet seen the confirmed breakout above this neckline for the inverse head and shoulders pattern, and we've not yet seen the confirmed breakout above this resistance at 163. So we still need to wait to see candle closes above 163 to confirm that breakout and confirm this bullish price target. But like I said in my last video, if we see that confirmed Bitcoin breakout on the larger timeframes, and if Bitcoin stays bullish, there's a very high probability that we'll see something similar for Solana. So basically that Bitcoin breakout, if that further confirms, especially with a breakout above 68,000 for Bitcoin, that will likely be a leading indicator for a breakout for Solana. But with that being said, zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 6-hour time frame, technically speaking, we still have this bullish price target in play for this double bottom pattern, also known as a W pattern. And this short-term bullish price target, which is currently active, is sitting at around 163. But once again, even though we have that bullish price target at 163, we cannot ignore the fact that we have resistance starting at around 159 and going up towards around 163. So just keep that in mind. Even if we have short-term bullish price targets and the trend or momentum is looking bullish, we cannot ignore resistance, because as always, the resistance areas here on the price chart is where the price is most likely going to struggle at. And so personally, I look at resistance as an area on the price chart, basically to take some profits from a long position, or support as an area on the price chart to take a bit of profits from a short position. So ultimately, that's really how I look at support and resistance. But this is not necessarily the end of the bullish trend, perhaps just a slight bump in the road. And so overall, those are my expectations for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Those are my trading strategies, which I've shared here in the channel. And of course, this is what I'm looking at for the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, these potential breakout trading opportunities. And as always, if you want to take these trades for yourself, once again, check out those links down below this video if you want to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to know how to trade crypto for yourself, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.